Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? It's Obimeka here from Dove Digital, a digital marketing agency here in Lagos, Nigeria. Basically, what we do is we work with small and medium-sized businesses, ensuring that they actually succeed online, right? So, advertising, lead generation, marketing, things like that. That's what we do, right? But in this video, as you can tell, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you guys how to run a Facebook and Instagram campaign, right? Because I get a lot of people asking how can you run campaigns on Facebook, how can you run campaigns on Instagram, right, for my business, right? So instead of me charging you X amount of money, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you how to do it yourself, right? And then hopefully that helps you guys in running your own campaigns for your businesses, right? As always, got any questions, want to know more, feel free to comment down below. Ask us, send us emails, whatever you want to do. We are here for you. So without any more discussions, let's jump right into action. All right, let's go. All right, so now first things first, what you have to do is, of course, log into your Facebook account. As you can see, this is my Facebook profile that I'm logged into, right? So typically, as you can see, this is the new Facebook interface. So this is kind of how things are currently. And usually what you want to do is you just come here and click on the ads, right? I'm just going to open this in a new tab. Okay, and it should appear like this. So once you open it, it should present you with something like this. Okay, but for those of you who do that and then this does not happen, it might take you to where it calls the ad center, right? Which is not really what you want. What you actually want is the ad manager, which is where I am right now. Okay, so if that doesn't work for you, what you want to do is just simply go to Google and search for Facebook ad manager. Okay, that's what you want to do. And then once you do that, it's going to bring you to the right place. Okay. And for those of you who do not have an ad manager, you actually want to watch a video we did previously, which shows you how to create the ad manager, your business account as well, and your Facebook page on Facebook. Because if you don't have these things, it will be impossible for you to actually do what we're trying to do right now. So ensure you have your Facebook page, ensure you have your business manager account, ensure you have your ad account, which will then allow you to run your campaigns for Facebook and Instagram. Okay, so watch that video. If you haven't done those things, watch that video and get up to speed, and then come back and watch this video, which is going to show you how to run ads. Okay, back to where we are. So let's say you are unable to find the ad manager. You want to search for Facebook ad manager on Google, and it brings you here. You click on it, and then it should take you to the ad manager, right? Then simply go to ads manager, click on the button right here, and you should see something like this. So for myself, I have a bunch of ad managers, and I've got a bunch of businesses. So I'm just going to use the one that I used in my previous video, just for the sake of continuity. Okay, so I'm going to go back and use the one I used in my previous video. So it's a lot easier for you guys, that are following through, right? So now this should be what you should see for yourself. You should be able to see your own business manager. So this is my business manager that I want to use to run my campaign. And as you can see, I've got my ad accounts right here. I've got different ad accounts, and I've got my pages as well right here. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is go to my ads manager, and as you can see that it's right in the corner right here. So I'm going to click on this button, and it's going to take me to my ads manager. Okay, so it's now my ad account is selected. So this is the ad account I want to use for the business I want to run my advert for, right? So once that's selected, next thing I want to do is simply come to the button right here and click on create. Okay, so once you click on create, you're going to see this pop up that comes up, and as you can see, there are kind of three different sections. There's your awareness section, there's your consideration section, and there's your conversions section. So for myself, one tip that I'm going to give you guys now, or one thing that I tend to do a lot, is that there's something called the $1 ad strategy. So I try this with every new client that I sign up, because it kind of allows me better understand the audience for that person's business, which actually helps me kind of run ads better for them, right? So the $1 ad strategy, more or less what it is I'm going to run a campaign for $1, right? It's quite self-explanatory. And what that means is I'm going to start with a brand awareness campaign for $1. And then after that, I'm going to then go for an engagement campaign for $1. And then the third would also be a retargeting campaign for $1. So at the end of it all, I'll have 3 different campaigns, all for $1 each, which would be $3 per day. Which is, if you ask me, it's not a lot of money, right? But it allows you really to understand how well your advert is doing on Facebook or Instagram, whichever platform you're trying to push out this to. But you're most likely going to get the results you're looking for with Facebook initially before you then kind of translate that to Instagram. Okay, so remember, $1 for your awareness, $1 for your engagement, and then a third campaign, $1, which is going to be for your retargeting. Okay, and in most cases, you want that retargeting campaign to be conversion, right? And in this case, what we're going to start doing is we're going to start with the awareness campaign. So the awareness campaign is what is right here, as you can see. By the way, people use all different kinds of techniques when running their campaigns. People do all kind of marketing gymnastics, right? So, but for us, this is what we've seen to work the best and what actually gets us a decent result for our clients and for ourselves as well. Okay, so I'm going to go to the brand awareness and just click on it, and then I'm going to continue. Right, so once that's done, it brings me here. So you want to give your campaign a name. It's good you always give your campaign names because it just helps. It helps you kind of being organized. I like showing that my campaign is organized so that I know exactly what's what, and I'm not like all over the place like, oh, what's that? What campaign is that? So once you're starting every new campaign, every campaign name has to have a name. Every ad set needs to have a name, and every ad needs to have a name. Every placement needs to have a name as well. So it just kind of helps you kind of know where things are and kind of keep things in an orderly fashion. Okay, so I'm going to give this campaign a name. I'm just going to give it like a test campaign. Facebook placement. Right. Test campaign Facebook placement. Okay, and then by the way, this is just an example, right? Just so that you kind of get an idea of how to also name your own campaigns. So test campaign, Facebook placement, then come down here, go to next. You don't really need to go through all this. It doesn't really matter for now. Go to next. And in this section, this way, then put your ad sets. So your ad set is more or less where you select the parameters for your targeting. So location, your interest, and there's so many ways you can actually target people. And I'm going to show you all those in this section. Okay, so let's change the assets as well and call it Facebook placement. Facebook placement. Okay, so now daily budget, as we all said, is going to be $1. So you want to select this, change that, and put it to $1. Right, as you can see, it's brought down our reach. And so schedule, so start date today at the time, end date, it's not really necessary because you could always pause the campaign when you don't want it to run anymore. You could just stop it or pause it whenever you're kind of done receiving the data you want to get. Okay, so I'm going to carry on and go to audience. All right, so audience, this is where you more or less this in a way makes or breaks your campaign. It's one of the aspects of your campaign that if you don't get it right, it's going to really mess you up, right? So now location is asking where I want to run my adverts in. I could choose any location. I could choose run my adverts in Turkey if I wanted people in Turkey to see my adverts. I could choose Ghana if I wanted people in Ghana to see my adverts, or I could just leave it where it is, which is Nigeria, which is where I am right now. Right. So in this case, I'm gonna just leave it in Nigeria because I want Nigerians to see my adverts. Right. Presumably. Then age, I'm gonna leave it open as well because with this campaign, I'm trying to get my my business, my product to as many people as possible because I'm trying to run a brand awareness campaign for them to know about this brand and kind of get to see it, right? And possibly interact with the brand, okay? So once I've done all this, I'm not going to go down to gender as well, leave it, unless if your product is gender specific, right? So if your product is, you know that mostly females would buy that product, then select females, right? But if you know, if it's going to be mostly male specific, select males. But in this case, I'm going to leave it open. because it's not necessary in this situation. And then you then come down to detail targeting, right? So detail targeting is where you get to select the demographics of people who are going to see your adverts, the interest of people who are going to see your adverts, and their behavior. So the things that they do on Facebook or Instagram. Okay. So let's say now what I do is I run an e-commerce business, and what I sell is peanut butter or cashew nut butter, right? Because that's what this business does. This business sells cashew nut products, right? So let's say I'm selling cashew nut butter, right? So for me to actually get people who are going to be interested in cashew nut butter, these people are either following pages like Food Network, right? People who are kind of involved in that food space, people who like good food, and people who are quite experimental with food. Because the truth is, cashew nuts butter is not really like a common thing over here. So for this product, I would like people who are kind of experimental and people who do like food to get to see this campaign, right? So I'm just going to come here based on interest. Let's go to Food Network. So this is an example. So interest, as you can see, Food Network, select that. And once I do that, as you can see, it has narrowed down my potential reach, right? So based on what you do right here, it affects the potential reach of your adverts, right? So because of this interest that I put in, my reach has been reduced to 670,000 people, right? So another interesting you could actually do is you could actually come here and click on suggestions, and it could show you the suggestions of things you could add to target the kind of people you want your adverts to show to, right? So you can see cooking show, master chef, recipes, cooking, blah blah blah, food, kitchen. So all these things are things that are suggested that we could possibly use, right? But I don't really want to use this. Okay. And mind you, like I said, I'm just showing you how to do these things for yourself. When you're running your own campaign, you want to kind of take some time and actually do some more research on the interest and the things that people who are going to buy your products or people who are going to be interested in your products are interested in on Facebook, right? So let's just assume I've done my targeting, I've put in my interest, Food Network, I've done all that. I'm going to leave it here, right? Then come down to placements. So on that placement, I have the option of automatic placement or manual placement, right? So I want mine to be manual placement because, like I said, I want this to just show on Facebook, right? I do not want it to go anywhere else. I just want it to be on Facebook. And Facebook, as you all may know or may not know, you're able to actually show your adverts on third-party platforms like Gigi, for example, or like Truecaller, or some apps and some platforms. Your ads can show on those platforms by running your ads via Facebook, right? So as you can see right here, there's something called the audience network, and if you select this, your adverts from Facebook will show on those platforms, right? In this case, I do not want that, so I'm going to untick this. I do not want my adverts to show Messenger, so I'm going to actually untick this as well. And Instagram as well, I'm going to untick it, right? But if I actually want to run my adverts solely on Instagram, I'm going to ensure that Instagram is ticked, and I'm going to untick Facebook. Then what this means is my adverts are only going to show on Instagram based on what I've selected right now. But that's not what I want. So I'm just going to click on Facebook and untick Instagram, right? So as you can see, my adverts are going to show on Facebook newsfeed, marketplace, video feed, and all that stuff. In the stories as well. In-stream videos. So my adverts are only going to show on Facebook. So once that's done, I'm going to come down and go to next. Okay. So now in this section, it's giving me my ad name. So when you're creating your ad, it's best like I said, always best to give it a name so that you understand and know exactly what the ad is about. Because let's say in the future, I want to duplicate my adverts. I want to have maybe 3 or 4 adverts per this campaign. It's make it a lot easier knowing what each of those adverts are, right? By making sure that they all have a name, right? So I'm just going to give this a name and say products in jar, right? Just an example, okay? Just an example. The product in jar, come back here and select the page for my business, right? So I'm going to select my page. There we go. So this is the page that I created in the last video, showing you guys how to create Facebook pages, right? So I'm going to put that here. And now I'm going to create my adverts. Okay. So when you're creating your adverts, there are a couple of things you could actually do. You could choose to create a brand new advert, like a brand new post, caption, and all that stuff, or you could use a pre-existing post, right? So let's say you made a post on your Facebook page, right? You could come here and select use existing post and use that post for your campaign. Okay, so that's another way of creating your ad. Or you could use a creative hub mockup. That's if you've created a mockup on the Creative Hub platform. Okay, so but in most cases, what you're going to be doing is either using existing post or create ad. In this case, I'm going to create a brand new ad. Okay, so once that's done, I'm going to come here and select which kind of format I want for my advert, right? So you can see single image or video, carousel or collection. In this case, I just want a single image, so I'm just going to click on single image, right? And I'm going to scroll down and add my, let's remove this. Okay, so I'm going to come here and add my image. So you can see add image, add video. I'm going to add my image and upload the image I want to use for my campaign. Okay, so I'm just going to use this. Let's just say this is the picture I want to use for my adverts. I'm just going to use this, right? But if you do not have a picture for your adverts, it's very simple. There's a platform called Canva. Canva is an online platform that allows you to create nice, amazing designs for your business, for social media, for your websites, any platform you want to create designs for. Canva is one of the best platforms to create those images on. It's very beginner friendly and it's very easy to use. So if you are not a graphic designer, if you haven't really got those technical skills to use platforms like Photoshop or After Effects or CorelDRAW, then you could try out Canva. It's actually free to start with, and if you want to in the future want to get like a pro account, you could definitely get it if you want to, but it's free. Now in this case, as you can see, I've uploaded my picture, right? So I'm just going to select my picture and go to next. Original. So it's asking the aspect ratio, if I want it to be full or if I want to crop it, right? I'm just going to use the original aspect ratio and go to done. Okay, but remember, when you're running your own campaigns, make sure you use a well designed image. I'm just showing you this to you as an example, just so that you can see how it's done. Okay, but with your own campaigns, make sure you do it properly. Okay, so you come here and you scroll down and go down to your primary text. So your primary text is the text that people would see underneath the creative. So now the next step, of course, is now to put in your ad copy, right? And that's what you put in here. What you want to do is write a very compelling statement about your product or about the service you're offering. Make sure it speaks to your desired customer. Make sure you kind of address it specific to that person, right? So you want to spend time, just kind of draft out something and put it in here. So once you've done that, drafted out your copy, put it in here. I'm just going to write something very silly here and just put something silly and just say, sweet tasty goodness, right? But of course you would not want to put this in your own campaigns, right? But you want to graft something really compelling that makes a lot of sense, that speaks to your desired customer, right? It could be 3 paragraphs long, 4 paragraphs long, or as long as you want it to be, but make sure it kind of connects and speaks to the person. Okay, so once that's done, because this is a brand awareness campaign, I could choose to add a website if I want to, but I do not want to do that yet. Okay, I'm gonna do that in the last campaign, which is a conversion-based campaign. Okay. So once you've done all that, the next thing you want to do is then come down and go to publish. Okay, and of course process, put in your billing information, and then carry on with your campaign. All right, I'm not gonna carry on with this because I don't want to do this right now. Okay, so I'm just gonna close this and close this, right? But once your advert is published, what would happen is you're going to see it saying in review. So where it says setup error here, you see in review. And once it's reviewed by Facebook, within, it might take about an hour, thereabouts, 30 minutes, an hour, half an hour, 2 hours sometimes. Once that's done, you then see your advert is going to be running. Okay, so that's how you run an advert in a nutshell. Okay, and that was our first campaign, and that was a brand awareness campaign. So if I want to do the same thing, like I said, and then create another campaign, an engagement campaign, it's still the same principle. I'm going to come here, create, not here, my bad. Come back to campaigns, to the front end right here, and create a new campaign. And in this case, I'm going to go to engagement. Okay, so go to engagement, select engagement, and continue. Okay, there isn't really anything different to, there's not much difference in what we've done in this and the previous one. I'm just going to run you down through this just so you kind of get the idea of the things you need to do. Okay, as always, make sure you put a name to your campaign. Okay, so once you put your name and all that stuff, you go to next. Okay, a name to your ad set, change your budget, make sure in this case, it's just $1, right? Okay. Your audience as well, make sure you sort out your targeting options right here based on interests, demographics, or behaviors, right? And then once that's done, still the same thing here. As you can see, optimizing for ad delivery, which is post engagement, right? So make sure this is as it is, but you can change it to other things if you want to change it. So in this case, you can see you can change it to, let's see that, impressions or daily unique reach, which is not what we want. What we want is post engagement. We want people to interact with this. So we want people to like it. We want people to comment. We want people to share it, right? So the people that actually get to do all these things, they like it, they comment, they share it. The thing is, Facebook is tracking all these actions, right? So people who are doing all these things are most likely going to be interested in that product, right? So remember, you run your brand awareness, people get to see it. You run another engagement to those same people, right? And then those people that get to interact with that campaign, there's some interest in your product, okay? And then lastly, you then run your conversion-based campaign, getting them to do what? Getting them to make a purchase, okay? So that's kind of how you want to structure your campaigns. You don't want to kind of force people to buy your product as soon as they're seeing it, right? Because it doesn't really make any sense, because you need to kind of build a relationship with that person, build some kind of connection, right? So you have your awareness campaign, your engagement campaign, and then your retargeting campaign, getting people to buy, all right? And usually this engagement campaign is going to be a video, should be a video, right? A video of maybe your product in action, a video of people using your product, or things like that, like a very compelling video ad. And when people engage with this campaign, you then know, okay, these people have a high interest in my product. And then after that, you then run your conversion-based campaigns. Okay, so that's kind of the principle you want to follow when you're running your campaigns. And to save you a lot of money and a lot of headache, because I know a lot of businesses that say, oh my God, I've been running campaigns for God knows how long, but they can't make a sale. And that's because you have not been able to build a connection between you and your customers. And the truth is, if you can't build a connection between you and your customers, or your customers cannot see the value in buying from you as to why you're special, trust me, they will not buy from you, right? But by following this simple strategy, creating that brand awareness, then trying to get them to engage with you, then that's when you try to then sell to them. Okay? So make sure you try and kind of stick to this principle and apply it in your business, right? So now, once you've done this, of course, go to next, select your business. So just select the page you want to use, right? Select the page you want to use. Okay, and just do the necessary things that you have to do in here. All right, I'm not going to go through all this again, because you should know what to do over here. It's simply either selecting a new post or creating a new post, right? But like I said, it's usually best to use a video for your engagement campaigns, because it works. Okay, so now once you've done all that, publish your post. Next thing to do is now to create your conversion-based campaign. And because I run an e-commerce business, I'm going to have a website that has my products, right? So one thing I want to do is ensure that my pixel is activated and installed on my website, okay? And if you don't have a pixel for your website, I'm sorry, but you're not really doing business well, because you're losing yourself a lot of data and you're losing yourself a lot of money, right? So what you actually want to do is install a pixel. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. It's very, very simple, okay? So what you want to do is come here to your business manager, go to event management. So you come down here. But just so you know, there's currently no website for this business, all right? But I'm just going to show you how to do it, how to upload a pixel on your own website. Okay, so once you come here to your events management, you want to come here and click on the plus right here. I click on plus. So we're trying to connect it to a web, right? So connect to website. So click on plus, web, connect, Facebook pixel, because that's what we're trying to do. Click on that and then connect our Facebook pixel. So it's going to give us some options. It's telling us how it works, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just going to click on connect because I already know how it works, right? But if you really want to read all this, it's fine. You can take the time and go through it and read it, okay? Continue. Enter your pixel name, so cashew nut company, okay, cashew company, pixel, all right. Then here's now where you put your website. I'm just gonna use our website, digital.com.ng, right, and continue, okay. So once that's done, I'm going to come here, select WordPress, because that's where my website is currently on. Select WordPress and confirm. So once you get here yourself, what you just do is follow the steps that Facebook is giving you, and you'll be able to have Pixel activated on your website. Okay. So once that's done, just I'm just going to kind of cancel this because the website is not ready for this business. I'm just going to cancel this. But once that's done, your Pixel will be activated on your Facebook Business Manager. Okay, so that's what's going to be here, and this will definitely help you. So let me show you an example of what an active pixel would look like. I'm going to go to our website, so Dove Digital. Now it's loaded up, and as you can see, it's got pixels activated on the website. So you can see there are different pixels that are here. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. Okay, so that is your pixel, and you want to ensure you have a pixel for your conversion based adverts, right? So we've done all this stuff. Let's now go back to our ads manager to create our conversion based campaign. Okay, so it's very simple. Go back to our, okay, there we go. So back again, you go to create, right? And you should see these options. You go to conversions, continue. Give your campaign a name, remember, give it a name, and then go to next. Right? So now I'm sending the traffic to where? My website, because I want people to go to my website to buy my product, right? So I'm going to select website and select my conversion event. Okay. So once you actually have your pixel installed on your website, you'll be able to select either of these options, right? And in this case, you can select add to cart, add payment info, add to wish list, complete registration, contact. So anything that you actually want to measure is what you're going to use for your campaign, right? So you can see purchase, right? So depending on what you want, in most cases, you're going to use purchase, right? Because you want people to buy your product. All right. So you come here, do that, select your budget, so $1. Right? Come down here, sort out your audience targeting. Okay. Leave your placements as automatic or leave it as manual. So whichever you want to do it here. Next. And the same as we've always done, select your pages, select your creative that you want to use for the conversion-based campaign, and voila, you publish, right? So that's what you could do to run your advert on Facebook, right? Or Instagram. The thing is, once you've done this, you've got your 3 campaigns running, your brand awareness, your engagement, and your conversion-based campaigns running. So once you've got your data from this campaign, you could choose to increase your budget, maybe change your audience a bit, or try new audiences and see how well it performs, right? And once you do all these things simultaneously, you're going to see that you're going to increase your conversions for your advert, right? But it's always good that you start with, a miniature budget, test it out and see how well it performs. And once you get the results for that test, you can then amplify the results with more money, right? I hope that makes sense. Okay, so to recap what we've done today, we've created, I've shown you how to create ads on Facebook or Instagram, right? So we've done that. I've also showed you a nifty trick that we tend to use over here at our agency, which is called the $1 ad strategy. So you run a dollar ad campaign for brand awareness, another dollar for engagement, another dollar for conversions, right? Try it out. Comment down in this comment section. Let us know if it works for you. I'm sure it's going to work for you. If you've got any questions, got any concerns, tell us, let us know. And as always, like this video so that more people get to see this video and learn from it as well, which kind of helps us grow the platform. And make sure you subscribe as well, because that really does mean a lot to us, because it kind of proves or shows us that we're doing a good job. So like, comment, share, and subscribe, because it really does mean a lot to us. And we can't wait to see you guys in the next video. And if you haven't, check out the other videos we've done, because I'm sure it's going to help you guys out in, your journey online. Okay, so it's been Obiemeka from Dove Digital. Have a nice time, and remember, keep hustling. See you guys later.